Is May Pride Month? That's gonna be a really annoying month if that's what it is. Considering, not because of but just because of people and how they are these days. You know what I mean? Not the LGBT. I keep saying things that sound wrong. I just mean everyone's got to have a big deal about it. You know what I mean? Oh, June is Pride Month. Everyone's freaking out even more so. Like every year, people like are more and more combative about all of that. So I'm sure this time's gonna be really fun. It's definitely not gonna be like hate speech everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The light's here when my camera is this way. Look, I'll give you guys more of it. It is not December, that's true. You got an idea? Shut up. City can think of it the sub. Oh, that was a funny message. No, don't do this, don't do this. I need to do this. Yes, yes. My camera's definitely in the wrong spot. Like, I bet money that it's in the wrong. Oh, wait. Why did I move it back? Why did I move it back? I don't remember moving it back. Whatever. Look, I'm not complaining. I just don't remember moving it back. So, you know, there's probably like trolls or gnomes that operate my PC when I'm not using it. What other conclusion is one supposed to draw? My finger is so cold. It feels like I'm playing with like, I don't know, it feels so fragile, like it's just gonna break at any point in time. If that makes sense. Like the whole thing is just gonna lose structural integrity and just... Hey tech. Oh yeah, I bet it does. Is the last shed part of the look? It's just a lot of objects around there. Look, I mean, I'll turn on Hitbox. You can see, it's just like, there's just a lot of them, man. You see how they kind of jut out there? There's just a lot of them. I never did have a prom, no. I was in 12th grade when COVID happened, and they didn't have like a junior prom or anything. And if they did, I don't think I would have gone. But yeah, no, that's not a thing. And no, it is not because I'm too cool for parties. I am not. You know what I mean? Like, no. But it's just like the people in that. I'm not going on the whole story about that school. Again. Ain't no problem with partying. Just, you know, you gotta... I'm not doing it with people I don't like. Avernus is not hacked. To our knowledge. Come on, Finger. We got work to do. Let's go. Come on, Finger. We have work to do. Let's go. Oh yeah, Avernus is like the lamest thing of all time. I think it's getting an update, though. By the way, there's like a giga rant within me. I don't feel like doing it yet, but just be warned. That's in today's programming somewhere. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to play that. Come on, you can do it, V. You can do it. Let's go. Let's go. You can do it. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. I didn't quite do it, but I got close enough. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I sounded like a cartoon character that just beat up some defenseless kid. Hi. What music am I listening to nowadays? I mean, to be honest, I haven't felt super good lately. I don't like listening to music when I don't feel super good because I can't really like get into it, I guess. If we're being honest. I'm pretty sure it is June though. What do you know anyway? Random guy comes in and he's like, it's not June. Like, I would know if it wasn't June. It's pretty obviously June, dude. So embarrassing. It literally is. This is so sad to see. How many of you guys were taught that the 5th month out of the year was May? Like, how many of you guys were taught that? How far is this wokeism spread, dude? The 5th month of the year is May. No, it's not. It's June. This is so embarrassing. We're indoctrinating our children to think it's May. It's so sad. I have never... I just can't believe it. It's crazy, dude. The vaccine's programming us to believe that that's how it's always been. It's always been this way. The 5th month out of the year is May. It's so sad. Are we even sure May is real? I'm pretty sure it's just a word. Like, may I go to the restroom? It's just a word. They're trying to instill our children with values of politeness. We can't let that happen. They're trying to trick you into thinking you have to be nice to people. Boy, Taylor, thank you for the sub. Happy June, yeah. Amen. Yeah, that makes sense, Blackbird. I kind of felt the same going to Europe. It's just so different. Not in a bad way at all. I loved a lot of the stuff in Europe. Definitely would go back. But it's just so different. You know? It's just how it is. The only thing I didn't like is that people in Great Britain drive on the left. I don't like that. I'm down to accommodate for almost everything. I just think that is pretty bad. I don't like that one. There. I'm the best. Man, I'm big with the sub. I have a question. Is there any country that drives on the left that borders a country that drives on the right? And if so, how do they handle that transition? Wow, yeah, like, I could get used to the left-hand driving thing, but then, yeah, as you said, what do you do when you approach a roundabout? That's how I'd get into a crash, like, pronto, like, ASAP, like, getting into a roundabout like that. I actually don't know. My hand is still cold. Can this end today, please? I have work to do. Yeah. USA drives right. Unless you're me during the one blizzard that happened in Rochester once, in which case I accidentally pulled into the wrong side of the divider. But luckily there was no cars, so we didn't die. Please wake up, hand. I need you. I did not see the new Zelda leak. No, as I said earlier, I just haven't had, like, the, well-being to listen to music. Like, I don't know if that makes any... I don't like listening to music if I don't feel well. Because I don't feel like I get the full whatever. I just haven't felt well for a while. Did I get on my icons legitimately? No, I did not. I did in the past. But I lost my data, like, 4 times in a row. And then by the 4th time, I was like, we're not doing this anymore. I think now I do have all the stats, though, for these to be legitimate. But, like, through 2017 to 2020, my game would just corrupt. Randomly. It's 100-bit stasher. I think it was a problem with my old PC, though. Also, I just back up manually, though. warm up, please. Yeah, both me and Tech shooting on the same day. Pretty insane. Oh, this is easy. Easy part today. Me, Tech, and Matt all on the same day. That's awesome. Well, I can never think of 100 bits. Guys, I have like Stream Elements like emails me every time a stream is over, giving me like my stream report or whatever, and it glitched because there was one stream I did where, if you remember, like the VOD got cut in half randomly because of some like weird Twitch bug thing, and it recorded a stream, like a full 2-hour stream, for getting one singular bit. So then the next stream, when I got like a normal amount of bits for the day, it was like, congratulations on the 141,000% increase in bits today, or something. That was a really funny email. Normally it's like 200 or like some normal percent. 141,000 is a really funny, and it wasn't even like a large amount of bits. It was just like, it just literally recorded one bit for the stream before it. I don't shoot Mania as much. How does this as a Polish alphabet clicks? I don't know. Yeah, it's got the set right there. Yeah, I don't shoot Mania as much. Because they're just like when I play it. It's just a lot. Nice. Let's go. Keep playing. Seriously, you want to keep playing. If you're making it to like 50 PP stuff, and you just keep pushing, you'll see how beautiful the game is eventually. You should 100% listen to what I'm saying. Damn it. Good run, though. Good run, good run. I do know that map. It's one map. How do you make those noises? It's like... It's one dun 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 dun. You can't make the other noises. How about the other noise? It's like the mouth can't go that BPM. Yeah, I'm not actually chewing on my tongue, but I'm like moving my tongue around in my mouth when I'm focusing. It's probably just like an autism thing or something. I don't know. It's just something I do. I don't know why. I'm just glad my nervous behavior has absolutely nothing to do with the, you know what I mean? Like, hey, that is so far removed from what's actually happening. Like, my hand isn't involved, my brain isn't involved, it's my tongue. My tongue ain't doing nothing anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a very good one to have, I think. That was a good RNG one. It's not even like nerves, it's like focus. Like if I'm really intently focusing on something, like you'll notice if I play bridge, even like, cause I'm not like nervous when I play bridge 99.9% of the time, but like, it's something that I do if I get really, not nervous, if I get really focused. I think this game is luck-based. Absolutely not. Unless you count the neural connections forming in your head at night to be luck-based, which I guess it is to some degree. But then, what isn't luck-based? Man, I feel like I could be really good at this level, but I can't stream for the next 2 days, so it's like, I'm probably just gonna lose it all, but whatever. I've not been, like, not playing GD, by the way. I just haven't been playing this. But it's just, I can't stream every day right now. I just can't. It's not like a energy level thing, it's just a sickness thing. Why are you still? You need to start. Like it's still work. You know when you drive and it's really cold and your engine's like, I'm too cold, but I'll still work anyway. That's what it feels like. Like it's working, but that doesn't mean that it feels good. Put hand in a fire. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah. This part just feels really hard. No, the people that say the game is luck just are looking for like excuses. I don't believe in getting unlucky. Like, yeah, people say I'm unlucky a lot, but a lot of that's on me, man. It's on me. I didn't do it well. Just a lack of consistency. Just because it's at the end doesn't change the fact that I died because of a lack of consistency. Luck in its simplest form doesn't really exist. I mean, you can argue that like the placement of like electrons and stuff like that and other quantum things is luck because even though it does exist in all universes, existing in this one specifically where it's in that exact placement is a probability. But other than that, almost everything is deterministic to some degree. It's not like, I don't know. You can get lucky, though. I think. But, like, you can't be a lucky or unlucky person. But you can have a singular event be lucky, I think. Like, if you, like, barely practice the part and you just fluke it and you don't even really feel like you did it at all. Because, like, when you, like, if you, like, don't know what to do and you're randomly clicking and it just works out, then that's a lucky event, but it's not indicative of what's going to happen another time. Maybe it's indicative that you're better at performing under those situations, though, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, look at Dedos, for instance. Dedos fluked Bloodlust from, like, 53 or something, and then fluked Omega from 61, like the other day. But I wouldn't say he's lucky. I would just say he's really, really good at clutching up. Whereas someone like me, I'm not so good at clutching up. I'm good at if I really need to, but if I don't really need to, I struggle. And I can't control whether or not my brain cares, to my knowledge. They just said hello purple because your name was purple, so I glanced and that's what I saw. Yeah, some people thrive under the pressure. Ugh. I don't know how to describe it. I have this weird mid-range. If it matters, like 60 to 70%, I can't do it. More like 60 to 80, but at like 80 to 100, for some reason, it gets done. I will do it. If it matters for a real reason. Other than just, it needs to get done now. Like, more, like, I don't know, even more so than, like, time restraint. Like, actual, like, emotionally, what will happen if I lose, and then sometimes that's when it appears. I wouldn't call this level a choke point level, no. It's definitely got a few, but not like... Like, this part is just hard. It doesn't really have like a choke point, for instance. Yeah. Its difficulty is just concentrated. That's not like, you know. No control I think of the sub. It's going good. It's not going good though, this wave. Except when I play it from here, in which case it's going good, I guess. Thoughts on Solar Flare? I was kind of disappointed. I'll be real with you guys. I know it's sort of like a weird take, but I was playing it and it was like... There's like invisible objects that kill you anywhere you're not supposed to go. Anywhere. And it just kind of felt like less of a level and more of like you have to do this specific thing. Which I mean, yeah, you would have to go through like a specific path otherwise. But even like stuff that's like harder just for fun, they block that off too. So you have to go a very specific route through it. And I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty cool level. It just, when I was doing a practice run, it made me feel very, like, it just feels very... like you're locked in there, I don't know. That very specific path. I guess it's my problem with levels as a whole a lot these days, though. Yeah, it's not blocked by real stuff, it's blocked by invisible stuff. And I don't think that blocking things out with invisible stuff is very... it's just not good, like, level design. Just in general. Like, yeah, technically it doesn't impact the playing experience technically, but it's just like, maybe I'm just being petty here. I don't know. I guess as someone who's not actually planning to beat it, my only real opinion of how good it is was just playing through it like that to see if it was fun, and nothing was really fun or satisfying. Maybe if I actually went for the runs. But, you know. It's June. I cannot play Rust. There is no level more visually destructive for me than Rust. Like, literally nothing. Like, Killbot doesn't even come close. Rust is like the... I don't know why. I watched a video of it recently. I made it through a video, but it was, like, genuinely difficult to get through the video. The flickering is, like, just the most destructive. I don't know why. Like, that's it for me right there. No one wasn't even close to that level. Like, that was... Oh, I can't see anything. Yeah, the gameplay looks like it could be... I played it in, like, show layout, and it looked pretty cool, but... That is not being played by me. I am super biased, but I never liked levels that are visually destructive. For how much would I beat Rust? I can't! There's no amount of money! I don't think you understand. Like, it's not you could literally, like, the president of the United States could, like, come up to my doorstep and be like, if you don't beat this, millions of Americans will die. You have to, and I still couldn't do it. Like, there's no way. No, I can't do it! I can't! Yes, it's that bad. Like, there's no, I can't. I could barely watch a video without, like, literally wanting to vomit. I know I'm sounding really dramatic here, but that's the truth. No, I can't. No. Yes. Oh yeah, Acheron. I would be more likely to do Acheron 3 times in a row than beat Rust. Because at least I could do that before I die of natural causes. If that helps you understand. I can't open it. That's just how it goes. I'm sorry. There's no opening of that level. Yeah, I think the general consensus is Tartarus is better. Tartarus feels more like... I don't know how to describe it. Tartarus was made more so as just like a level rather than just like... I don't know, there was no precedent. I guess Tartarus was just made to be Tartarus. Acheron was kind of made to be the sequel of Tartarus, and that kind of impacted how it was made and everything. Tartarus was just like an old level that kept changing the parts of to make it like possible. To some degree. I don't think I have any hope for whatever level comes after Acheron, though. None. 0. We'll see, though. Dude, I had people in my Twitter replies defending the color red. Like, that's where we're at now. Literally, someone replied with something like, oh, so when it's red you get mad, but when it's any other color you don't say anything. And that made me laugh for, like, 5 minutes straight. Because, like, what are you talking about? You're defending a color! I don't know. Dude, Twitter is just, you know, it's Twitter. Just make it a new color, man. Twitter's just so interesting to me. I think a lot of people get really mad on it all the time, but I love getting to see the thoughts that people have. Just the pure, unfiltered thoughts. What do they got going on in their brains? It's just like it's like a zoo or museum of some kind. I don't know. Yeah, I think I plan to. Network is really cool. I really want to beat it, so. I think they're making like a less flashy version for me, which is very appreciated. I don't think I deserve this sort of treatment, but hey, I mean, I'm not complaining either. I mean, it's nice to be accommodated for, I guess. I feel kind of weird about it because, like, I don't think, like, I'm so important that I need people to go out of their way to make it playable for me, you know what I mean? And that's kind of... It's just one of those things, but, I mean, at the same time, I really want to play it, so I'm not gonna pass up on that opportunity either. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm going against my morals a bit there, but, I mean, hey... That's not very nice, doggy, that I looked as soon as I died. And that was in the chat. Yeah. No, that's true. I guess the problem I have with people being like nice and accommodating to me, which sounds like it's not even a problem. It's just one of those things where it feels like I'm in a position where like people treat me as more than like the ordinary guy, I guess, and that sort of like gets to me a little bit. But at the same time, I appreciate they're doing that for me. Okay, doggy. That's not very nice. I know he's so rude. That's true. That's true. Yeah, it's more than just about me. A lot of people will see the level. That's something that I definitely don't mind being complicit in because I want people to see network. It's so cool. You know what I mean? There's a reason Mayhem is forgotten. It's not good. And it's actually nothing. Mayhem is just like some cherry team level that was really bad. and everyone agrees it just like oozes racism. Yeah. It's just I don't know why. It just is. It just does. It's just a vibes thing. Yo, Celestial Gay, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you. Thank you for the 8 months. How can a level give off racist vibes? I don't know, but it does. I can't describe why. The human brain works in mysterious ways, you know. There was one level, I think it was called like Troll Machine or something. It was like the most misogynistic feeling level of all time. Was that what it was called? It was like the troll. It was like, it was so, like it was. No, I don't think Ender Destiny gives off racist vibes either. Cube comes off as like fake, like plastic or something, like disingenuous. If it was like, oh, a level, if that word was a level. But like, I've always had these, like, I'm sure we all have, like, I'm not special for that. It's like, but like, Oblivion for me has always been winter, like cold winter sort of feel. Like every level has like some word I can attach to it. It's not always in the same like camp though. It's always, it can just be all over the place. Every time I think of Sakupin Circles, I think of like middle schoolers, like literally like 12-year-olds. Every like Sakupin Circles is like the youngest person level of all time, I think. Like everyone who associates and talks about that level is like learning about like natural science in school, like what an earthquake is. Dude, I played some level that had the Lit Fuse song that was basically good as a Lit Fuse copy that got raided recently, and I had to quit out because of how annoyed I was at it. Like, it was that bad. I don't remember what it was called. But I got to the drop and it was so bad, I had to quit the level. Not a fan. I'm gonna get top 500 in Quaver while watching this. Good luck. How hard is that? I don't know anything about, like... Is there a way you can relate it to, like, Osu-Mania terms? Like, either, like, BPM of, like... Actually, how much rice do you guys even have over at Quaver? Is it mostly hybrid? Like, is farming hybrid or is it rice? Because I know in Mania, lately, the levels have kind of shifted more towards levels. Maps have shifted more towards hybrid, which I can't do at all, so I can't do any of it. Almost only core jack? Oh, what BPM can you do? Like, moderately dense, not like mini jacks, but like, not like I love it or extended life or anything like that. Somewhere between there. 120 is like, what is rice? Oh, that's just notes without LN in it. How high does Quaver difficulty go? Zero to 50? Oh, okay. Yeah, noodle maps are like LN. $140, $150? Oh, okay, so you're around where I'm at then. I can't do, like, dense 140 plus, though. Like, I can barely do dense 140, but, like, I can't do paradigm. That's too dense. It's funny how alpha, beta, gamma, it goes from 145 BPM to 145 BPM to, like, 140 BPM. But it gets exponentially, like, denser and harder. Like, technically, it doesn't get any faster. Man, I want noodles and rice and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to eat it. You know what I mean? Like, to eat it. You know what I mean? RG, thank you for the sub. It's a long time. Yeah, I guess nightstand would be the highest. Dude, that's so dumb. Yeah, because TLD is like 130 or something. $33. Oh, I thought it was like a good even number. I guess not. I used to have problems with motivation, but I think, one, because I stream, and two, I just have a really good resolve. I don't really get bored anymore. Like, I put so much time into developmental, like a ridiculous amount of time. I think the thing people don't understand about it, though, is I wasn't born this way. I had to work for this. Like, maybe I'm more naturally predisposed to be good at it than other people in terms of mental, but, like, my mental used to be super bad for years. And I just willed this, I willed it to be this way. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. That is a crazy new best. I mean, that sucks, but also, wow. That was really impressive. Let's go, dude. That was actually insane, dude. That sucks that I died that way, but I'm not surprised. No wave is so hard. Coffee Lover, thank you for the 100 bits. Damn, dude. Oh, that wasn't even like that. Oh, man. I was worried about the next click, not that one. Wait, no, was this the click I was worried about? I don't actually know. That was the one, yeah. Damn, dude. Almost here. Wow. I thought I might just fluke the entire level, yeah. Wow. That is a crazy new best, though. Notes are fine. I just messed up the wave click. That sucks, dude. Like on the one hand, that sucks, but on the other hand, that was crazy. Like, inside me are two wolves, I guess. Damn it, dude. Wow. Jesus, what am I doing? Bro. Okay. What? I don't know. That was awesome. Yeah. I'm Zoink now. Dude, that Zodiac day was like different. No, I'm not going for this. We're just messing around with it. I think I was gonna do like a day with video on this. Dude, I felt like a boss doing that swing copter, by the way. What's up, Starkey? Like, when I was doing that swing copter, I was like... It felt exactly like... I don't know, I literally felt like I was walking away from an explosion. Like, it was like the coolest feeling thing of all time doing that from the start. Yeah, it's almost jarring. I feel like there's not a lot of time to even build nerves with a level this short. Like when you do like a lot of Celeste stuff. Yeah, it was really good. Thank you. I just got it, like now. Nice, dude. Have you gotten that to 100 yet? I don't actually know. Yeah. That spike, dude. It just kind of does whatever it wants. This sucks, actually, dude, because now I have to not play for the next 2 days. LOL. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Okay. Just gotta get it on recording now. I'll probably drop the 79% on my second channel and then just not upload any more progress until I beat it. Just to like get people to be like, oh, he's going to beat it now, you know what I mean? Progress is going good though. We are inching closer to the next project, which I'm really excited about, and this is a good step in the right direction. I'd say this is more fun than Oblivion, which actually is quite a bold thing to say because of how good Oblivion was in reality. But no, you're good. This level's just so good. I really enjoy playing it. I don't get super mad playing it. It feels very fair. Just a lot of good things I have to say about it. The only issue is just so hard, but I mean, it's so hard. What are you gonna do? There's not a lot of, like... You can only do so much to a level this difficult to make it, like, super enjoyable. Like, obviously, I enjoy, like, a really fun, insane demon more, just because I would pass more stuff more, but, like, for the difficulty ranges it's out, this is pretty much as good as it's ever gonna get, I think. To some degree. A lot of the new gens would disagree with me, but they like playing the level that's an insane demon with like 5 choke points, and then they call it top 20, so... Whatever. Limbo's also really good. No, your level is doing good. Good things. It was cool to see Tech playing it. I hope he continues to play it. He'll definitely do it unless it tends to be like 100%. Even though he doesn't play, he's just gonna be like, oh, relearn the game and better than it ever was now. GG, I win! 15k attempts. It's gonna be something so stupid. I win! Sorry. GG, dude. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'll tell you guys this 100%. Like 100% about people's attempt counts. not most, but a good percentage of them lie. Like, confirmed lie. I will say that. Well, Zoink probably actually did this in 5.5k, to be fair. But, like, I know so many players that lie. But they won't ever admit it. Like, I've seen conversations where someone will, like, ask someone, like, hey, you said you only did this in, like, X amount of attempts. And then they were like, oh, yeah, but I'm not counting, like, old attempts. And the old attempts were from, like, 4 months ago. When he tried, when the same person just tried previously, played, like, for, like, 8k attempts and then stopped playing. And then just didn't count them later. I've seen so many cases of that. And it's just like, it's just because of the nature of the playing spheres. You just really want to try to, people want to like stand out. And they think in order to do that, they need to get these like egregiously low attempt counts, so they'll always just, whether consciously or not, try to lower that number. And a lot of them really beat themselves up over if the number is really high or something like that. That's also why I think a lot of the playing community is so toxic. A lot of people only count attempts from 0. I've seen that before. I've seen people not count learning attempts because it's not actual attempts, which is not fair. I've seen all of these like justifications. It's a lot more than you guys might expect, too. Like, a lot of people. What actually happens more than you'd think is, like, because people feel like they have to play at a certain level, they won't lie all the time about their attempt counts. But, like, if they're really embarrassed about a specific attempt count, they think it's not in line with how they've been playing previously, then they'll just lie about that one, and they'll justify it, like... It's one of those things they'll justify it by saying, like, oh, well, I deserve to have beaten in that amount. Really, I basically beat it when I got 96, so none of those really counted. That's extremely common. It's just human nature. They're like, I think I deserve this, so I'm going to get myself in. There's no one's gonna do anything about it, obviously.
Do I fake my attempts? You've seen every attempt I've done on this level.
If I faked attempts, it'd be like the lamest thing of all time. You're right, I could be lying. I'll tell you the secret, though, I have a lot of attempts on this. A lot. You want to see? Let's see how many. See? A lot of attempts, but I don't care. Because I'm beating it, so it doesn't matter. But what's so demotivating about it? You just need to beat it at the end of the day. That's all that really matters. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get there. If anything, it just shows how many times you didn't fold. Also, to be honest, I'm just not really in a rush. I guess I am more so now that I have another project I want to work on. But I don't spend all my time thinking, I have to beat this as quick as possible. No, I like to take my time. I do. I'll admit it. I'm not always sweating when I play on stream. I think that's pretty obvious. Sometimes I just want to hang out and talk, and I don't really care how I do. GD for me is fun. I want to have fun. I don't want... A lot of people ask why I'm able to play so long. You want to know one of the biggest secrets? I don't stress myself out all the time. Maybe it means that it takes longer to beat stuff, but I'm happier. I don't feel as... Like, I don't know. GD's fun for me because even if I have the worst session of my life, I still had a good time just hanging out with my friends and talking to you guys and everything. And I know that I still work towards the final goal eventually. That's all. I like the journey. I'll admit it. Screw it. I just want to have fun when I play this game. I don't want it to be all stressful all the time. And I've seen a lot of people like judge me on the metrics of how many attempts it takes me to do everything, and that's fine by me because I'm not comparing myself to anyone. I'm just me. What do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? That's all that I care about, really. No, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's possible. You can get there with hard work. You just have to find it. I noticed for sure, I've been saying that sort of stuff over on Twitter, and a lot of people have been criticizing me for thinking that, like, I think I'm above everyone and whatever. And I guess I can see how they think that. Just because of the nature of the stuff I say sometimes kind of seems like that I'm coming from a place where I think that I'm better than other people. And I guess there's nothing I can really do about that, but I guess there's really not much to say about it. I know that I don't think that I'm better than people. What do they know? It's one of those things where I just don't really take strangers' opinions into account because I don't know them, and I mostly just... I mean, I don't think that one person can really judge themselves in terms of whether or not they're being pretentious or whether or not they're being insensitive or anything like that. But I put trust in the people that I respect. Some of you guys, some of my friends, family, people that I respect that would tell me if I'm getting out of line at any, not random people on the internet. And if they think I'm being pretentious with the stuff I'm saying, random people, then I don't know, they can suck it, I don't know. They don't know me. Yeah, that's what I mean. If people are just gonna make negative assumptions without knowing me, that's on them. I think it's another thing that comes with just, like, getting older. Because I didn't really get this as much as a kid, but, like, I don't need everyone to like me. Like, it's not even to the... Not where I mean, like, I want everyone to, like... I never wanted everyone to like me, but I thought that what random people were saying actually, like, mattered to some degree. Like, I needed to understand where they were coming from a lot of the time, when a lot of them are just mean-spirited people, just in general. And I realized, kind of, over time, that, like, I don't really care about what they have to say. But it wasn't like an easy lesson. Matt, look at my new best. I'm better than you, even though you already beat it in half the attempts that I currently have right now. I totally cleared this kid. I just owned him. Do you guys hear that? I'd be so embarrassed if I were him, dude. Did my guy go upside? Okay, I'm just tripping. I thought the robot went upside down. I don't know what my brain is doing. Not productive stuff, that's for sure. Brandon Larkin. How are you today? If anything, I feel bad because I feel like I kind of judge them, even though I don't know them. Like when people are just like hating ass people on the internet. The thing is, some people just aren't mature. They might mature into someone that's not an asshole. But like, I feel like sometimes I unfairly judge them. Whenever I see someone acting like that, I kind of dismiss them as a person entirely sometimes. It's not the greatest thing to do. What are you gonna do, though? I don't know if anyone's born a hater, though. That's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know if people are just either really immature or just have really bad life circumstances and think that no one else gets that, and so they think they have a right to be really toxic and mean on the internet to try to, like, I don't know, vent some of that frustration. Do I hate them? I don't know. It's complicated. It's like, do they even know any better? Will they ever know any better? It's one of those things. I think a lot of people are guilty of that. For sure. I think some people will never change. Some people just go down weird pathways in life, and that's it. But I don't know. I guess there's nothing wrong with dismissing someone for who they are at the current moment, but you always have to be open that they could be something more. Unless they're like a rapist or a pedophile or, you know, anything like that. That's a different story. But yeah, I think that the majority of quote-unquote bad people just haven't been around good people, haven't had the right life circumstances. But then you'll hear what I'm saying right now, and if I were to say this right now on Twitter, a lot of people would be like, how dare you think that you have any idea, whatever. So it just becomes a brick wall conversation. It doesn't go anywhere. I can't, because I don't know what they're going through. I could be wrong about all of this, but this is just how the way my perspective goes. I want to believe there's good in people. I don't want to believe that people are just bad. With some acceptance. But I can totally see how saying that sort of stuff makes people feel like I'm being pretentious, or that I'm above people, or that I've escaped some sort of fallacy or something. What are you gonna do? That's just kind of an endless loop. I'm not afraid of people thinking I have an ego. I'm afraid of having an ego. Like, that is the actual thing I am afraid of. Because I did for a very long time. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, though, okay, I'll just quickly explain this story. I know probably a bunch of you heard it by now. Born with autism, 181 IQ, very, very good at the type of stuff required for you in school, and I would always constantly outperform everyone in my class because of my gifts. And my parents would always hype me up and be like, "You're the smartest person in the school, don't you?" Blah, 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 blah. And that gave me an ego, I'm not gonna lie. That totally messed with my brain. Especially because I would continuously visit these, like, doctors and, like, mental people that would be like, there's only 500 people in the world that are like you in this aspect. Like, that is going to give a kid an ego. And, no, that's real. Yeah, no, I have, like, moderately severe. I guess they don't use the term Asperger's anymore, but that is what I was diagnosed with at the time. So just the way my brain was formed, it made me very good at the kind of questions that would score well on an IQ test. So I did have an ego for a very long time. Found it very hard to make friends. So yeah, I'd totally say that I'm scared of forming one again. Because, you know, when you're a kid, that sort of stuff sticks with you. Yeah, but IQ, the thing is, you guys are probably in shock. 181 itself, IQ doesn't mean nothing. That's the thing. It's a metric of how good your brain is at certain pattern forming, like, and now analytical tasks and stuff like that, how fast you can read, which I guarantee I can read faster than any of you. That's just like the way my brain was formed. But there was a drawback. I'm so bad at so many things, like so many things. Almost anything that you could find that I haven't. The things I'm good at are, I have really good public speaking skills. I'm good at analytics, math, that sort of stuff. But then pretty much anything else you can think of, I have extremely bad motor skills, extremely bad dexterity, just like, never new mic. I don't know, my mic just does random stuff where it changes all the time. I have really bad social skills. Any other skill that you could really think of, I'm really bad at it. So there's a trade-off. It's not one of those things where, but I didn't realize that for a long time, you know? I finally cracked when my parents like sat me down and told me that I had a really big ego one day. And then that's when I really started that journey of like introspection to try to figure out what the hell any of it was. Right then and there, I was like, I guess, what does that really mean? Because up to that point, I was just like, I'm better than everyone. Everything in life has proved that, I guess. You know? I mean, it's something I regret, but and I'm not trying to make like excuses, but you know, when you are told that you're the best and you constantly perform the best, I don't think it's surprising that I ended up that way. But then what happened was, as a result, I put a little guy in my brain for better, like I can't find a better way to say it. But I put this little thing in my brain that was like, that tried to keep my ego in check. But as I grew older, it got stronger and stronger until I was really self-deprecating. And really had a really low self-esteem. I swang the other way because I kept myself in check like too much, if that makes sense. And now I think I'm finally at a balance. I don't hate myself. I actually love myself, but not in the way where I think I'm better than anyone. So to answer the question, yes, I'm scared I'll get an ego to some degree. It's like something like carpal tunnel. I don't think I'm just gonna wake up and have carpal tunnel one day, but I always, you know, I preventative measures. Something like that. I would stretch out my hands before I do anything. I hit the pink horse. Let's go. Not a good way to go, dude. Not a good way to go. That's not good. In order to stop comparing yourself to others, you have to just like, I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but you have to like, you have to figure out a way to not base like when you're motivated to do something, the motivation cannot be, if I do this, I'll be better than other people. You have to find things that motivate you because you want to improve at them, as opposed to you want to be better than others at it. Yeah, video games helped me tremendously because it was the first thing I really found in my life that I was just so bad at that it was crazy. And it was like, it kind of helped me understand the lesson. Like, everyone's good at different things, you know? And you can be good at whatever you want to be. How do you cope with being average at a game? It's difficult, especially at first. It was very difficult for me. As someone who is very not good at any specific game in general, you just set goals for yourself. If you find the joy in your own self-improvement, then it all kind of falls into place from there. Like, I don't play Mania to be the best at it. I play Mania to be the best version of myself that I can be. Which sounds cliche, and it's something that you can understand. You guys need to understand there's a large difference between understanding something perfectly. Like, this is a big thing for me a lot of the time. I can understand something with 100% clarity. Like, I get exactly what's being said, but it doesn't change how my internal brain is processing things. And then there's actual internalization. Like, your whole brain, not just the front of your brain, your whole brain gets the idea. You know what I mean? Like, you can say something like, don't compare yourself to others, and you can understand that fully, but your brain, your subconscious will still do it. But if you're able to fully internalize that, then your whole brain gets it. And that's a whole different story. Yeah. It's just like, once you find the joy in your own you. Internalizing it is not easy. It can take years. Literal years. There are shortcuts, but I'm not talking about that on this stream. Yeah. You're already doing it. See what you're doing right now? You're comparing your 145 IQ to mine. And so you've already lost the game. You know what I mean? Once again, first of all, IQ doesn't matter. And second of all, if it did matter, it's still, like, 1 billion times better than the average. Because of how it, like, scales. And Denos. But it's not going to compare regardless. The way I think about IQ is it just shows, like, if you have a specific type of brain. I relate a lot to a lot of people that have other, like, high IQs, but not because I think that we're better than everyone else, but I think our brains just kind of process information in a similar way, you know? It's in my head, it's just one scale out of the 1 billion scales that a brain could go in. Yeah. Everyone loves you, Deados. Deados, how do you get to be so rich and famous? I don't get it. Yeah. It's just one of those things. I just remembered I saw a video today of someone getting Epsilon Dan with their middle and ring finger. Actually, I think it was index and ring. But still, a ring finger was involved in an Epsilon clear. Which, that just doesn't make any sense to me. How did you do that? What are you doing? How does that work? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Well, I'm not dead. I've never hit that and survived. I just stopped looking at the screen. You can improve in Mania. Anyone can do it. I promise you. It can happen. Unless you feel pain. Damn, I want to play Mania. That's all I've been able to think about for the past like 12 hours. Like, it's time for a Mania session. Oh yeah, there'd totally be a statistics search bar in the good place for sure. My school experience was like, without going too much into detail, it was like I didn't make any friends for the first, say, until like, okay, here's the thing. I went through like every grade wrong. I went from like first grade to fifth grade to second grade to like fifth grade again to third grade to fourth grade, if I remember correctly. The order didn't make any sense. Because I was too bored, and I was just doing these things, and my teachers were like, we need to get him out of here. And I continuously bounced around to different schools, and then I would take like a test to see what grade I should be in, and I kept scoring 5th grade. So it was just like, it just kept bouncing me around. So I didn't have any friends until 4th grade. I met someone a lot like me, and I stayed at that school until 10th grade, and that's where I started to figure out what reality was. You know what I mean? I learned reality that way, and then it was like, and I went from not having any friends to slowly I became like, I mean, I was always weird, but like after high school started, I was the kind of weird where it was annoying to the kind of weird where everyone was just like chill with me, and it was actually really good. I didn't really have an enemy in that school past like 9th grade. I was just kind of chill with everyone, even if I was weird. But it was like the kind of weird where like people would talk about me and be like, oh, there he is. You know. I don't know. Not very descriptive. It was just when I don't know, because I started acting. That's when I kind of figured out a lot of social stuff through acting. And I was always good at playing a character. Not like putting on a mask, but just like, because I can't put on a mask, but like if I'm on a stage, I can do it. You know what I mean? I don't have any self-consciousness. I wasn't born with it. Like I've said this before, that's another thing. My brain developed wrong. It didn't develop self-consciousness. If I was like literally, I'm not joking, right now, if I was teleported onto a stage in front of all of humanity, I wouldn't even care. I'd just start talking about whatever. I don't have, that part of my brain failed to develop. It didn't work. So I was always a good actor because of that. And then I started to like get like more social, like, you know, I started to figure out more social stuff, and then I started to hang out with people. I found like a friend group. And I don't know, it was, like 9th, 10th grade was like the most fun I've ever had in school. All my teachers were awesome, and I had really good conversations with them. All my friends were awesome. It was awesome. And then I moved to a place where it was like, there was like 2 black people maybe, and everyone else was white and very conservative and does drugs all the time. And not the kind of drugs where it's fine. You know what I mean? Like designer drugs that only rich people get, and they were talking about flying their helicopters and running from the police in front of teachers. That was the kind of high school I went to for the last 2 years of my life. And then I was starting to get bullied there, and then designer. Oh yeah, now that place was crazy. I did not let my brother go to school there. I was not allowing that. That was like the one time I like actually like, put my foot down. Like I was like, Mom, Dad, he's not going there. He's going somewhere else. I don't care. It was crazy. If you don't know what designer drugs are, they're pretty much just like drugs for rich white people. That's a pretty good way to describe them, honestly. And I was starting to get bullied there, and then the memes started to blow up, and 2 days after that, school was canceled forever because of COVID, and if it wasn't, I'd probably be dead right now. So that is the extremely short version of my school experience. I'm not going into full detail about everything. I will eventually. I'm sure I have in various different facets, but I don't feel like talking about it all in full right now. Hopefully that answers your question. It was weird. It was a weird time. 8-hour brick wall live stream for real. I only had COVID online school for like what? I was in 12th grade and it was like in February, so just till the end of that year. It wasn't that bad. It did kind of feel like divine intervention. See if it actually matters. I graduated online, yeah. I should play Pizza Tower. I've heard it's pretty good. Okay, it does not matter, don't worry. I'm not saying, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, online school is pointless. No, I appreciate you looking out for me. It was just really funny for me because I was like, oh, this might actually matter, and then it was that. So you had to see it from my perspective. It was quite entertaining. Thanks. Is everything in the room white? I mean, you guys have to understand the way that cameras work is it's shining through the light right here, so it's making it look a lot more pale than it actually is. I would say the wall is more of like a, I don't know, white isn't the right word. Like, look in the camera, it's way brighter than it is in reality. Yeah, beige is, yes, that's a much better description of the color. There's a bit of brown in it for sure. It's not white. No, I was so close. Yeah, I've never seen an online class work. This generation's the stupidest generation that'll ever exist. I don't care. Maybe not ever. Maybe it gets worse. And people always say, oh, every generation says that. Yeah, but they didn't have online school. And ChatGPT, you know what I mean? Like, it's over, man. Trying to tell me people aren't gonna get stupider. This time it's real. I mean, okay, in the modern era. Yeah, generations get savvier, but not smarter. I'm seeing a growing distaste for learning. Because it's just like, learning requires effort, and effort can be ignored if you open your phone and go on social media, I feel like. I feel like that was not as much of a thing in previous generations. Do rank 7-star? Is it hybrid or is it fun? Yeah, school doesn't really promote it either. Yeah, I see a lot of people who just hate learning and hate people that learn. Has become more and more frequent. You guys know what I'm talking about? The people have decided that they never want to learn anything in their lives ever again, and they also make that your problem. I've seen plenty of people like that. I don't know a lot of places that have good school systems, really. Do you guys are any of you guys in countries with school systems you actually like? Out of curiosity. Like, I'm genuinely asking. I want to know if any of you guys have like good school systems. America suck. South Korea sucks. China sucks. Don't know about Japan. I've heard of the German school system sucks. Homework is illegal in Ireland? Oh my god. That sounds good. It makes sense that Holland would be good. Apparently Ireland's good. That's cool. I'm Irish and it's not? No, I'm being baited! By one of you. I don't think Djibouti is a first world country either. I don't think they have the resources to like make a good school system. Which is probably the case for a lot of countries that aren't first world. Yeah, Canada just seems kind of ahead of the curve. Canada has always kind of reminded me of like the US if like it was 5 years later, like at all times. Most of the like the decisions that have been made in Canada, I feel like they just happen in the US like later. They finally get around to feeling that way eventually. The USA school system is so bad because it was made during the Industrial Revolution and then has not been updated since. It basically exists to make people that are willing to work for an obscenely long amount of time for something that doesn't matter. It's a factory, yeah, because it was made for factories, and it currently serves the people in power for it to be like a factory. So I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, because they want people to think that that's all they can do with their lives, and that's what they want to train people for. Yeah. We all being duped. Why is it bad? Dude, there was a really bad map that got ranked by Renosk. It was like 250 streams, but it was all LN. And that was the whole thing. And it was like, if you use Percy, you get free points. If not, you can't do it. What do you want to do? It's like stupid. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I can't play video games on a 6-inch screen either. It's so choppy. That's only because I know about this sort of stuff, so it's like, can't come back now. Actually, I don't think I'd be able to play video game. My eyes would not let me do that. That's just not a realistic option for me. Well, I think it's like not as simple as TikTok is destroying society as much as the progression of what people want out of social media is. Does that make any sense? Like, the thing with TikTok being as bad as it is like the market will always exist even if it were to be deleted and someone else would just make another app that has the same sort of point. Hi, Escape. Vine, but evil. TikTok is more manipulative, for sure. From everything I've heard from everyone. I'm not downloading it, but I have heard. About 1 million stories. But that's just what it is. Right now, social media is in a battle of which app can hold your attention for longer, pretty much. So that is how it's going to go. Eventually, people are going to work to make more and more addicting apps that hold you for longer and longer. So that's why I think there's just so much money in it. There's so much money. Remember though, they don't have to win. If you just delete all the social media and your brain will get used to it. It's just like withdrawal from any sort of drug or anything like that. You can have the last laugh. You don't have to let them win there. You really just don't. Yeah, exactly. And I think we see that more and more in the types of like content creators that get big nowadays on YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. Like you can visibly see the attention span and like shock value and all these other variables being affected by like the way that people absorb media. Yeah. Yeah, people don't even realize how played they're being right now. It's crazy. I wonder if it's ever gonna get any better. Like, I genuinely wonder. Like, I'm not much of like a doomer or anything, but like, will that ever stop? They're gonna fight so hard. It's like, it's just literally, even though it doesn't look like it, this is just cigarettes again. This is exactly what it is. They made it without really understanding the power it would have, and then it got so big that everyone knows it's really bad for you, but it just makes so much money that they won't get rid of it. It's just the same thing. Let's go.
And just like cigarettes, they don't even realize it's like they realize it, they just don't care.
And I don't care if people say it's not that addictive. Do you see how much time people spend on their phones on TikTok, dude? I don't care what you think about how addictive it is. You see it right there. I'm not trying to downplay how addictive cigarettes are, though. They're like, it's like when you pass a certain threshold, it doesn't really matter which one's more addictive or anything. But I think both of those things are above the oh my god threshold. And it's just a losing battle. It's one of those things. Again, I don't feel like being like up against something I'm like holier than thou. Like, oh, I just want everyone here to live fulfilling lives, and that's not gonna happen if we're on TikTok all day. I'd say vaping is probably worse though. But again, I don't like comparing them. But vaping is like lol. Lol, 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 lol. That always, it's like they're winning. Yeah, when like people act like you're so insane for watching long YouTube videos or like doing any activity that you're focused on for longer than 30 minutes, it just makes me so sad. It's like, you don't even understand, dude. You're getting owned right now. Yeah, no, I've seen that so much, and I'm sure a lot of people that are in high school right now can totally relate to that. People who, you know, vape, use TikTok all the time. They act like you're insane for spending longer than 10 minutes on anything or caring about anything to any degree. Yeah, I can't watch short content. I can't do it. I don't do it. How these people ever make it to a college lecture? ChatGPT, I don't know, let's cheat on the homework. Yes. Simple Moves has like the best content on YouTube, I think. It's just like, I'm never not in the mood. Like whenever I see him upload, I'm like, alright, that's what we're doing now. Here we go. We're in. Yeah, sometimes they'll start clicking with like a random key. Yes. I don't know, Simple just, like, there's no other creator like Simple where he can just, like, just, like, make up his own joke based off the situation, and it's so good that it just makes me laugh out loud. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, just so absurd that he came up with that specific concept. It's just like, what? How? How? Like, how? Yeah, it's just insane. But it's also something I get that, like, the average person isn't gonna, like, it's, I don't think Simple's content's for everyone. That's why, because in my mind, Simple should have, like, 26 million subs. Like, there's no one that does what he does better than him. But I think it's, like, for a very specific kind of brain that finds that sort of thing funny. I mean, if you're when I watch content that has, like, 87 million views, or I'll click on a video, it's, like, the most unfunny thing I've ever seen. So there's different types of brains out there, you know? Baby Shark is 12 billion views. How does that work? The average person has watched it like 1.3 times? How does that work? I don't know how many people. How many people are there? No, it actually has 12 billion. Yeah, I know that's real. Gotta be able to give it a sub. There's over 8 billion. But like, I just don't understand. Like, how does it not? How does it? Are we sure YouTube doesn't inflate a little? Cause like, there's how? Dude, is that video monetized? I'm trying to like imagine how much money you'd get from that video, and it's absurd. 40 mil. Yeah, something insane for like one video. That's so wild to me. The kids' YouTube is like terrifying. I don't know if there's any good quality stuff on there. Oh, it's gonna be so... Is that how like older people look like when we get like nostalgic over like Mario 3 and stuff like that? And like how we're gonna view stuff like Baby Shark when that starts getting like used in like nostalgic references in like 30 years. That's crazy to think about. I've never looked at it from that perspective. Oh my god. Dude, that must be how like 60-year-olds see when like Mario 3 gets referenced. It was like, oh, I hated seeing it then and I hate seeing it now. I've never thought about it like that. That's crazy. Yeah, but that's how we're seeing it right now, this generation. You ever think how stupid video games must look to people that are like 50, 60? Like, oh, I'm controlling pixels on a screen. I guarantee they think it's as stupid as we think Baby Shark is stupid. That's so wild. It's all about perspective. That's true. Tablet babies aren't even... Yeah. Yeah, they don't care. Like, it's like... We're assuming people over the age of, like, 60 can even understand what the concepts are happening on this screen at all. Do we know that they can? Because we grew up with this. Dude, that reminds me. I was driving home from the grocery store and I was called. What? What happened? Play that back. What happened? Somebody's what? That made no sense. I promise you that made no sense. Yeah, I think we'll probably still be gaming when we're 60. Honestly, to some degree. Let's see. What happened? Alright, let's see. Because it didn't make any sense when I saw it. Hey, me. And we don't need to hear you that loudly. Let me see if I'm just insane, if something weird actually happened. What? Wait. What did I die to? Is there an object there? Is there an object there? There's no, is there not? I can't tell if I'm just being stupid here. Why am I dying there? Yeah, but there's not supposed to be, there's no object there. I was driving home. I have to check hitboxes now. That doesn't make any sense. I just died in the middle of the... Okay, wait. Let's go over and see. That didn't make any sense from my perspective. Let's go check. I can't really play well with hitboxes. I doubt many people can. That's what this looks like, by the way. It just like appears, but it's always there. So what? I still don't understand how I could have ever. I guess that's what I did. Why is there a hitbox there? That is not an easy thing to hit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get flicked down enough. Weird, dude. Oh my god, how did I get here? What? Oh my god, guys. I just beat it. Oh my god, I can't believe it. GG. Not so bad, honestly. I don't know. Maybe like 40 to 50 spots overrated. Happened at the store. Oh right, I was driving back from the store and I was calling my mom, and my mom asked if anything like was up, if anything had happened recently. And I'm like, and she's like, something happened, talk about it, because you know parents always know. And then I was like, because that was like one day after the space thing, and I was in my car, and the entire ride back I just got to vent about the space situation and the loudest voice that I had, because I was alone in the car, and it was awesome. Cars are very therapeutic. You can just scream and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I went off about it. It was pretty awesome. That's so messed up. That is so messed up, dude. I need to be better than you. I need to ruin your ego right now. What a great person. I can't believe anyone is out there like, oh, we should forgive him. Let's forgive him. He's a good guy. He just messed up. He was addicted. Ah, la 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 la. How about that? Screw you. What do you mean? You ever used critical thinking skills before? Like, it's... Did you know he hacked Cataclysm, by the way? I don't know if you guys know that. He did. He couldn't even do that one. No, he didn't do nothing. He did nothing. There's no way. Cataclysm's crazy, dude. Motivation boost. Wow. How fantastic. Apparently Wazorette is legit. I think that one's legit. Maybe. But Kata was not. Yeah, for the things he just says was legit, like... I would not... 10% is... I think that's too low, I'm gonna be honest. I think critical thinking is, like, suffering a massive loss. Like, massive. I forgive him for Kata, that free drop is awful. For real. Critical thinking is dying. What? No, iced cave. How could you? 33%. You never get to the 40 chip. That's crazy that we existed in a time where that just wasn't possible. Like, you couldn't do that. That's so wild to me. It's over for Mitch. I remember the night 2.0 came out, because I begged my parents more screen time and they wouldn't let me do it, and it was really sad. I just wanted to play the robot so bad, it was crazy. I was in my bed frothing at the mouth like I can't wait to play Geometrical Dominator. Like, he doesn't even know, dude. That level sucks.
I feel like I can do Blue Zenith DT 1 billion years before I do Fallen Symphony.
No, it's a bad level. Bad. No, yeah, I was so hyped to play the robot game. It was crazy. Unfortunately, it would not be very long before I got banned from GD. From my parents. Because Deadlock stressed me out too much, apparently. I think. I don't even know who was right about that. I can't remember that too well. I beat Deadlocked and Hexagon Force V2, and then I was banned from playing GD until 2.1. That was my whole 2.0 experience. You got the two deadlocked holes. They're just still in the wall. It's crazy. Well, no, my parents were like, "You're never playing GD ever again." And then the new update came out, and I was like, "You have to let me play, please. I will do anything. I'll do anything, Mom." And then honestly, before 2.0, I can't remember like I was playing actively, but I can't remember. I think it's also just back then updates didn't really matter that much. Like it was like 1.8, okay, new update. It's out. It took 2 months. Let's go. What is even in it? Okay, cool. Let's get on to whatever I was doing before that happened. You know what I mean? Like no one cared. So I don't remember those events like super well. I do remember playing the Wave for the first time, being like, "This one sucks." I did not like Blast Pro. I was like, whatever this one is, I don't think I'm gonna like this one. And I started like actively avoiding. I started actively avoiding levels in which I had to use that game mode. I just was like, we're not playing with this. But other than that, I don't have any memory of like updates dropping before then in terms of like where I was, how much I cared. But I was playing. 7 years. Let's go. Let's go. Well, pulse triggers suck, so you're good for that. I do not Reddit. That is not something I'll be downloading. Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok are in the we are not touching this tier. Highest tier. Okay, I'm done playing this stupid ass game. Worst game ever! I'm just kidding. I had fun today. But I could go finish my sub and then play Mania instead of ending stream, which I might do instead of ending, because that sounds more fun than ending. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my sub and then I'm going to finish it real quick. And then I'm gonna play Mania. Okay. Okay. Hi. We're just gonna sit here and eat and talk. So, ask me anything. Ha ha ha! I'm moving the camera over here. Ha ha ha!
I don't feel like watching YouTube right now or nothing.
Before anything, here's my sub. We're gonna do this. It's got roast beef. It's got mayo, honey mustard, Swiss cheese, and lettuce and cucumber. It's really good. Also, ranked Bed Wars, it's bad. I don't like it. Bed Wars isn't a serious game mode to me. I mean, I'm not gonna do multi because it lags me. I'm probably just gonna play whatever I want, but like, if people have like suggestions, you can throw them out there while I'm playing it. I actually like maps a lot. You know, I saw a video about the trolley problem from Vsauce. Wow. I definitely recommend that video if you've never seen it. Literally one of the most brutal videos I've ever seen in my life. My day's been okay. I don't know. I had a good, I had a good session today, for sure. I don't think I've seen the isolation one. The ayahuasca one was really interesting. So I mean, you know me. Of course, I'm gonna find that one interesting. It is really good. If that makes you hungrier, I'm just feeling like being an asshole, I guess. I don't think you can really make a better sub than this. I think there's a for sure hackers in the GD sphere to some degree. I don't know if in the top 10 specifically. But like the amount of dumbass morons, like genuinely extremely stupid people I've seen claim they have an undetectable hacking method, you know. It's just hard for me to say that no one's hacking. Yeah, I'm sure trusted people sneak hack stuff. I mean, you've seen a lot of these people. Some of them are just stupid. I still have never seen a video of that guy. Possession DT. Pretty much, if you want to stay motivated, you just got to motivate yourself based off the previous you rather than other people. Because I play Mania for so long, and it's people that can do what I've done in like 3 months of playtime. But like, I ain't them. You know? Yes, I'm a tech main for sure. Tastes so good right now. Jesus Christ. Hi. Yeah, it's exactly what Space did. Well, if you beat it and then bought it, I mean, you beat it. Why wouldn't you just like what? I love Jump Stream too, but I'm not, it's not healthy to play it because it's just like you're just doing it. I need to play more like hand stream, like split trolley maps. Because I'm so behind in those categories. Because whenever I start to play Jump Stream, I'm just like, "Whoa, it's so easy! I'm doing it." It seems like it's not actually helping me. Man, I wish I was a Jack. Man, I am so bad at Jacks. Most devastating person to be exposed for hacking. Hmm. Something like serve would be really bad. Like the whole time. Yeah, someone that hasn't been. And it would be devastating. Brandon Larkin would be devastating. Doggy would be devastating. And I guess, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess they just really weren't looking for that. Like the Depop thing. Yeah, Doggy might be the worst person. Sonic, oh my god. That was really bad. I don't know why you did that. No, Zoink's definitely legit. Like, I believe Zoink is legit really hard. Yeah, the thing is, one, the way he responded was very genuine, and two, he's provided a lot of raw footage for the team. Like a lot. And they looked really hard, and they haven't seen anything. He could be a temp line, but that's not the exact, that's not anything close. Yeah. Zero two. Was not expecting to see that reference. Winter literally could have been good. He just tried to shortcut to the end, which no point. Mania hasn't seen that many cheaters because it's just such a small community. There's not really a point. Of course, there's been a few, but it's like, also, how are you gonna get away with it? Oh, baby. Hi. Yeah, I think Winthrop's legit now. It wasn't even. He just felt like he deserved a lot more than he's getting. It was just another case like that. Just keep thinking of the sub. It's Mania time. You guys want to see my face or my hands? What's the move, chat? You're not used to moving the camera, are you? Both. All right. I always do this before every. Actually, you guys do this with me. Ready? It's good for your hands. So put your arm out like this, and then bend this back. Let's do it for 10 seconds. This. Gently, gently. You know. Actually, I'm not doing exactly 10 seconds. And this, do the other way. All right, do the other hand. We'll start with that. So let's do this one first. This way. And I just shake them out. You know, you can pull on each individual finger like this. Make sure they're all moving good. Like that. There you go. It's important. You don't want to get any bad things. You can prevent a lot of stuff just by doing those simple exercises. You can get Osu injuries. I'm not kidding. It may seem like a joke, but it's not a joke. Especially with someone at my age. I don't want to, like...
Click the circles.
You know. Are we in? There we go. It is time to play Mania. Beat Saber is like injury world, actually, so I've heard. This is too loud, I think. Is it not? Also, I do not warm up fast in this game, so you're gonna have to excuse me. Here it comes, ready? Yes! Stupid. It's loud, too quiet, too loud. I'll 10% is probably better. So good, guys.
Way too quiet?
What is my voice? This is better. Screw you all. How is this working? You're the only one saying that! Discarding you. Why'd I try to DT this? What sort of decision making is that? That was like 4 days ago. Cool. This is a good map, I think. Probably play that. I can't 99 this. Alright, fingers, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Are you ready? This is so hard. I wish I could ghost tap, but I'll definitely just miss. You know what I'm saying? My Bojic, you know it's out. It's been a long time since I've streamed Mania, I think. I told you I do not warm up fast. Okay, this is too hard. Stop! What is this? I need to my whenever I start playing, my like left middle finger doesn't extend far enough. I have to be patient with it. Warm them up. Why am I not? Okay. Yes! I'm special. Okay, we're done. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just when I warm up, it's just like, yeah, I got that Ellen skill in me. I should get like a CPS counter. I promise I'm not that bad at this game. I just can't do it yet. Dude, this is so stupid. This map is so stupid. It's so bad. I'm not playing it, but it's so dumb. It's just so fast. Like, it's like there's so much happening. Sure, let's find out what you are. Sometimes you gotta play a new map. Okay. So far, absolute jack all is happening. Well, this is nothing. Okay. When I'm just not quick on it. Oh, this is interesting. I like that. That's weird, but I like it. There's not a lot of lazy for here. Maybe the streams are like 4 BPM. I still managed to miss on it though, so. What do I know? Your eyes make certain patterns unreadable. And you'd be surprised. As someone who has really bad eyes, it's not so bad. Try, I'll give you a hint. Try playing in windowed mode. That's what I'm currently playing in. It's literally the only way I can play the game. Trust me, you want my hint. If you have any eye problems. This map is so cool, by the way. Oh my god. It's not warm, man. Whatever. I could do that map much better. I'm just not warm. I'm not warm. 9:57 is really good, me. Yeah, sometimes it takes up to an hour. For me, for sure, yeah. I totally feel you there. I do, yeah. I don't know. It's just, especially when I eat food, sometimes it takes me a little while. This is stupid, by the way. I do indeed suck. This is not a game I'm very good at in comparison to other people. But that is also not something I care very much about. This is a really good warm-up for me.
My left hand like won't stick to like because I play wrist down.
That's so hard. This one's harder. Shouldn't play that one. Actually, let's see if it warms up. I need to find like my right positioning right now. I'm not good at long jacks at all. I'm glad it ended. I tabbed out of the game. I tabbed out of the game. So, RIP to my combo that I was focused really hard on preserving. That's why I wasn't I was like, this combo is crazy. I should have stopped talking. Well. Okay. That kind of sucks. Actually, this map just requires an ungodly amount of focus, never mind. Ugh, it's so hard. That could have been good. Whatever.
Ah, dude, that map is so. What that makes 130 feel like 180 million, dude. I can't do it.
Yeah. Big Jack. Long Jack's brother. Yeah, 130 either feels like nothing or you can't do it. It's so weird. Like, break 130 is like 160. But, like, I played 130 that feels like nothing. That's so funny that it works like that. I'll end. I wish I could play this, but I can't. Let's try one more L. I mean, Jack map.
Ah, dude, my.
I've been kind of obsessed with this map, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't remember what BPM this is. I think I might watch that specific thing. Because I never pass that. It's so dense there, dude. No, I can't do this. Barely, yes. Not that much worse. I just needed to hold more. Different. I haven't had the game mode for that long. I guess it's not so surprising that it would be able to instantly PB a map that I've tried to PB multiple times. I'm not playing Reflect 1.9 until I do things that are hard. 1.9. This kid said 1.9. That's not good. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, Epsilon would be like the top one demon of the game or whatever. Yeah, I haven't played this in a long time. That's easy for me now. But yeah, you can definitely tell I am very tech stream oriented. That's what I do. I don't. Yeah, I have S's on this. This map's so hard. Guys, look at this map. Look at this map. This map is so hard.
Why did I even open this? I don't want to play this.
This map is so difficult. And these are eye drops. Here we go. What is going on at all? Like, how is one ever? It's so hard. Ow. I don't think I do. Why would I open this? I mean, it's just, this has been a long string of what are you doing? Me. Also, I didn't put an eye drops. I can't read if I don't put an eye drops. It's literally the only reason why that map didn't go my way. I had to blink every time there was any amount of notes on the screen. Actually, no, I don't think I would have hit that last stream regardless. Last stream was just BS, dude. This is like 150, it's so fast. If there's anything I can do to make the session better, let me know, by the way. I don't talk as much when I play because I just really like Mania in terms of, like, I don't know, just being one with the song and everything. But if there's anything I can do to make your guys' experience better, let me know. This is bad. This pattern needs to end now. Nope. You know what the worst part is? It does it again. I couldn't hit it then, and I can't hit it now.
Yeah, it's just like I try to focus on act. What do you mean? You think I have bad act? Because that's not true.
I dropped.
I'm stupid.
Okay, guys, let's be honest. Who's enjoying listening to the same part of the song over and over again?
Yeah, ring index is crazy, dude.
But yeah, I don't really believe my accuracy is that bad, to be honest with you. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's not like that screen. Oh, much better. That's really cool. Oh, I messed that up though. Yo. Woo.
Whew. Jesus, that was a lot.
That was a lot of notes for that amount of time. Yeah, 2.4K notes on a map like that that's only 2 minutes. Okay. You just gotta keep playing. That's the thing. Wow, dude. I don't know why. I don't think that map was like actually that difficult, but my hands were like Jesus Christ. I don't know. My hands were like freaking out. They were like, what are you playing right now? Oh, wait. Chat needs to see this map. Actually, never mind. I don't want to play it. I'm going to play that. Yeah, I can try this. Is Galaxy Collapse considered farming? If Galaxy Collapse isn't considered farming, what is considered farming? I can't. I mind block that like 100%. Very unfortunate. That's more unfortunate by a lot. No, 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 no. Last stream won't do that to me, would you? Yeah, you would. Okay. What? I don't understand this stupid ass map. Look at this score. 842k A rank. 842,000 point A rank. Ain't that one cool? How do you get an 842,000 A rank? It wasn't even that good. Whatever. Fine. I can't control it. I just wanted to do. Not playing future swag. Hey guys, check this map out. I don't know why this is like missing map alpha. There's no way this would ever be an alpha. I don't even know what map this would replace. Like, I literally don't know. Like, what? It just doesn't compute to me. So dumb. What map would that replace? It didn't make no sense. Well, that's not even like... It'd still be harder. It was so easy. Why is it in there? That's my controversial take. Here we go. I regret opening this map, but now I'm not gonna stop because I actually want to play what I came for. God, I hated this song. I don't hate it now, but like when it was everywhere forever. A song being everywhere forever has a really good chance to just piss me off. It's a really good map, actually. Jesus. Really, all I needed to do was say Jesus, and then I could read it, I guess. Maybe he's real. I can't play Eterno
Because I can't make the window like that and have it not glitch out for some reason.
Damn, what are you? I can't play unless the window's really the appropriate size. What does that mean? Oh, I got it right. Thank you for the raid, man. It didn't play the noise. I was just like, what are you guys on about? Wiz Fighter, thank you for the sub. Oh, this map's so good, guys. You guys are gonna like this one. So good. I don't know how to map this. I guess an Eterna convert.
dude! What? Okay, I don't know what I just did. What? Dude, that score is insane. That's insane. I didn't even have a 98. I didn't even have a 98, and I played this like recently. Like I was playing this. What? 99? Dude. That was wild. That play was insane. That was an insane skip there. I can do Trinity 9112. Me every single day. See, I can do it today. Today is the day. Okay, not a good sign. The clutch factor, though. The clutch factor coming. See? Didn't even miss it start anymore. I totally mind blocked the start, by the way. Like, this is so much. Don't ask why, but I did totally, like 100% mind block all of this. Okay. Okay. I can't do it! I can't do it! This stupid ass map has me in a chokehold, dude. Look, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, I just can't do it. It's literally because it's 142. Like, if the BPM is more than 140, I stop being able to do it. Like, it's over. All right, I'm done with this map being in it. Easy, watch this. S ranking Mario Paint tutorial. Working 2023, here we go. Yes, I did it! There's the tutorial, it's over! Screw you! Stupid map, dude. Let's go. I hate this map, dude. I can't read it for nothing. There. It's 254. Shut up. Shut up. I'll ban you. I won't actually ban you. It's one of those numbers you find it and it's everywhere. What do I want to play now? What is this? I'm sure whatever this is, it's so easy. Let's play it. It's a minute long. How hard could it be? Alright, so far it's wasted at least 15 seconds. More? How could this be hard? Still? Half the map's gonna be over by the time we get anywhere. Really? I'm so confused. There's no way there's more. Is this like a glitch? Okay, that did. Jesus Christ. Wow, those were fast streams, dude. I didn't even S it after the 1,000,000 notes of free notes. Difficulty spike, it's a PMS ending. Yeah, that's like 400 BPM. I'm not reading that. That doesn't sound like a good idea, Meguman. Dude, I finally S this. I can buy, bro. That's what that means. Alright. No more having a bad score in this. We're 97. We're getting a 97 on this. This is easy. It's just a loss dedicated. I don't care. It thinks it's above me. Okay, that's not. I always mind block that. Am I alone? Is it just me that mind blocks that? There's always one of these I miss. This part. I hope it ends soon. LOL? It's not good. We lose. We lose. There's long jack. How? Hand jacks are auto compared to that stupid ass long jack. You're just stupid. You're just dumb. I don't know what to tell you. Uh-oh, din don, dan. I can do this. It's only 154. This map, dude.
Oh, right, it doesn't stop. Oh, really? That one destroyed me. Break? It's over?
Wait, I asked that actually? Wait, never mind. I'm the best ever, dude. If I got a 94.8, it would have been the worst ever, though.
I'm just too good with it. 154? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the better vibrer, honestly. A darling dance for that. Unless that's compulsive chord dip. Why I tried to tab back in Nosu, it just glitched. Can I go back in Nosu, please? What is a darling dance? We ain't got that. I'm gonna go to the beat maps. I can't find it. Just send it to me. Yep. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. CRZ Rachel. 6.82? Good idea. I could wait, how many notes? How many notes is this? 5,000. A rank.
Whoa!
I think you just sent me to die. This is the easy part, guys. I can't pass this. Like, no way. Can't do that either. I can do this, apparently. Walia. No. No. I'll try this. Let's go, let's go. I'll show you the truth never spoken. I'm the truth never spoken. Dark Sailant's just so hard to uprate because of the BPM. Like, it goes from reasonable to you can't hit this BPM instantly. If you know what I mean. Too hard.
Yeah, it's so hard, man. Yeah, alternating done speed though. How to get a 92.53? How does that even work, bro? No. Denied. Not playing that one. I want to play this. This is actually fun. On my core jacks. I'm not quite sure how I got a 92% on that, by the way. I am struggling to see the day in which that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Why? Oh, well, okay. Well, if I'm gonna mess up the entire last jump troll, whatever, it's still a good play. map is really good. You're right.
But also, wow. That was really wild. What was my ratio ass? No, it's fine. That was good. Good job. You suggested a good map. You will not be banned today. Well, I'm good at those kind of maps. Just something I excel at. Is those kind of. It's probably so hard. Whatever it is. Our main skill set is Jax.
Jax Tech.
Let's see what this is.
I can't play Jax.
I'm curious what this is. I definitely can't do whatever it is. I'll show you the intro. Sorry for not talking as much. Having a pretty good session with it right now.
Best map ever! That is literally one of the best maps I've ever played in my life. What? Dude! What was that? That was so good! Everyone needs to play this map immediately! If you play Mania, you need to play this map immediately! That was ridiculous! It's so good! Are you kidding me? I just didn't have the stamina to hold it because it's very stamina intense. Jacaz just stopped playing. No, I don't want to play that. I want to play this.